Hi, I'm Mark Brosens. I'm a producer on The Agenda with Steve Paikin on TVO, and today I want to spend some time talking about London, Ontario. In case you didn't know, in the last municipal election, London saw a huge turnover in its municipal council. Only three incumbent city councillors were re-elected. That means there's 11 rookie city councillors on London City Council, and there's also a new mayor. So today I'd like to talk to one of the new rookies in City Council. He's the Ward 3 councillor. His name is Mo Salih, but he likes to just be called Mo. Thanks for joining us, Mo.
Oh, thanks for having me, Mark.
So everybody comes to politics in different ways. So can you tell us a bit about your story about how you got into politics?
For me, it was a natural transition, having served in the Canadian Forces and with the Canadian Border Services Agency and being involved with a number of community groups and organizations. And, for me, it was just another way to continue that work and continue to serve the community.
So running for City Council wasn't your first venture into politics. Before that, you ran for the Ontario NDP and their London West seat to be a candidate there. You lost that race to Peggy Sattler, who did get elected to legislature. And you know what they say, you learn more from losing than from winning sometimes. So I was wondering, did you learn anything from that first venture into politics?
No, exactly. I mean, losing that race was definitely a great opportunity to really learn and to really get an inside understanding of how politics works and the mechanisms. So for me, it was one of the best experiences and really shaped me and really kind of further motivated me to say, you know what, moving forward, these are the things that need to be done, making sure to always be prepared for some of the unforeseen situations and to be as positive as you can throughout and understand that at the end of the day, it's just politics, but to keep moving forward.
You're really well known in London for your social media presence, but what I found really fascinating about how you ran your campaign was that you made a lot of real-life connections with people. So can you tell us a bit about how you made those real-world connections with people while campaigning for City Councillor?
Well, you know what, we figured and I realized that, it's important to have the traditional way of campaigning, but also bring in the new ways of social media. And you know what, wanted to make sure to talk to people at the door, but to also be able to talk to people at town halls, but to also offer that on social media. So whether talking to people on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Vine, whatever may be the platform, wanted to ensure to be able to connect with people and really bring them to the conversation because it really is a new way of communicating. It's, we've seen it in the past where TV came into play and now social media is coming into play. And it's an important part of a campaign and campaigns to come.
And so how many times did you knock on the doors in your ward?
Well, it was exhausting, but it was well worth it. And you know what? It was great to meet so many people, but 4 times was the total. So yeah, we since February. So the first lap we went around to really introduce myself and to let people know that I was running. The second time it was more so important to kind of ask people their feedback and see what they wanted to see in their top priorities and issues. And the third time said, well, this is what you told us. Did we get the message right? And really build a platform from that. And the fourth time was kind of final draft, if you will, and we said, this is what you said, this is what I'm hoping you'll elect me based on with your input and some of the ideas and talking to different stakeholders in the community. And you know what? It looked like it worked.
You made some headlines during the election because you faced some racism, and I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about what happened with these incidents and if those incidents changed the way you saw your fellow citizens in London.
You know what? There was definitely some. I went into politics knowing that there's always negatives that come with it. It was unfortunate that some of it had to do with racial and religious intolerance. I am a visible minority and I am a Muslim, and some or other people decided to make that an issue. But overall, the majority of Londoners came out to really support and say that this is not reflective of what most people here in the city think of or people in the surrounding area, but there's always going to be those people who are going to try to perpetuate that and to really just, try to find an excuse to give people to not vote for me. So at the end of the day, it really speaks to the platform and it really speaks to, my abilities because no one really came and targeted us based on those 2 items as opposed to things that I couldn't change, which is just who I look like and the name I was born with, which happens to be Muhammad. So I mean, I'm proud of who I am and, really proud that Londoners came out and you know what, there was 5 of us who were running and we had over almost 53% of the vote at the end of the day. So it really does speak volumes to say that people voted for me and my abilities and nothing else.
So you got sworn into City Council on Monday night. Tell us what that was like. What did that feel like?
It was an unreal moment. It was really exciting to be in a room with 800 people. It was a full convention center, and I mean, it's really exciting. A lot of cameras, a lot of flashing, a lot of great speeches. Deb Matthews was there. Member of Parliament, provincial Parliament Peggy Sattler was also there, and Pierre Matheson, and a few other dignitaries and people from the community and different stakeholders. So it was really great to see everyone there in one room, and of course, Mommy was there. So it was really exciting. So it was really great to just have all those amazing people in one room and to really kind of watch you take that oath. And it was really exciting. It was just an overwhelming moment of joy, and it was surreal.
So in November, I spoke with Jacob Mantle, and he was a councillor in Uxbridge. He got elected in 2010, and when he got elected, he was the youngest serving municipal politician in Ontario. At the end of his first term, he decided that there was just too much going on in his life, and he needed to focus on what was happening on his personal life and take a step away from politics. So he decided not to run for re-election. I'm wondering, being a municipal politician is a big job, and if you listen to Jacob Mantle, does it give you some pause that possibly you are going to have problems keeping up with all your responsibilities?
Going in, I was very aware of the responsibilities and the realities. Having spoke to a number of people who are currently or were currently councillors at the time, and just province, and you know what? The feedback was, you have to be realistic with what you're willing to sacrifice. And, I've been in the military for years. I've been working with the federal government, so I've had to travel to places. I've been in the cold, been in the rain, not the most ideal places because it's a service. And, I'm proud to be able to have this opportunity. It's a great opportunity to really have that impact in the community. So, I know there's going to be those days where, I don't have me time, but hopefully try to balance and find that balance and make sure to work through it all and to do the best you can for the community and for the city.
So you wear a lot of hats that are kind of underrepresented in politics to start off with. Your identity is you're a young person, you're an immigrant, you're a visible minority, you're a Muslim. All of those things by themselves are identities that are really underrepresented in Canadian elected office. And so when someone like you gets elected, do you think it changes the way that people perceive the political system?
For me, it says it does speak volumes. When I was up on that stage taking that oath, I had in the back of my mind thinking of all the kids who maybe look like me, or maybe we're trying to find those role models. And it says to them also that, you can aspire, and no matter what the challenges may be, you can do whatever you set your mind out to go out there and do. So for me, it's really a great opportunity to be that person who's able to really kind of make that impact in the community, really be a role model. And there's a lot of responsibilities that come with the role, but at the same time it's appreciated. And I look forward to whatever maybe coming up in the next little while. But for me overall, I find it that it's an honor, but it's a huge responsibility representing so many communities. It's not every day someone is trying to not represent the Black community, the Muslim community, and the young people, if you will. So there's a balance, and hopefully work through it all.
Well, that's great. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll be able to check in with you again in a few months or see how you're doing. That was Mo Salih. He is the Ward 3 councillor in London, Ontario. Thanks very much, Mohammed.
Thanks for having me.